When Sony announced it was phasing out physical PlayStation games, I hated the news just like everyone else. But I figured I'd sit this one out and let the rest of GamerTube tackle it. I'm not a gamer news channel, and honestly, I'm mostly a digital gamer through PC as it is. Been off console since the PS2 era. If anyone should have shrugged this off, it was me. So why did this news keep bothering me? The more I thought about it, I realized the thing bothering me wasn't just the loss of physical media. Don't get me wrong, collectors have every reason to be frustrated. Game preservation matters. Ownership matters. Those conversations need to happen, and the rest of gaming YouTube has thoroughly covered those concerns. But I realized I wasn't mourning the loss of cellophane and plastic. I was mourning the growing distance between gamers and the titans entrusted with the medium we love. When I discuss games on this channel, I almost never think about games as products. I think about the relationships we gamers build with them, how they shape our identity, why we remember them decades later, the value they bring to our lives. I talk about how they bring us together as a community and how we find meaning sharing our gaming experiences with others. To us, games are fun, yes, but they're not just disposable fun. Gaming has carried a strange stigma for most of its existence. Even today, despite becoming a bigger industry than film and music combined, it's still often dismissed as kids stuff, lowbrow, or even just another vice. The stigma can be felt virtually everywhere outside of the gaming community, but sometimes it feels like the biggest companies in gaming started believing that too. The crux of the problem is that when Sony's news broke and virtually every gamer recoiled, you can't help but feel like Sony, among so many other industry giants, are outside of our circle. That's at the heart of what's bothering me here. Yes, the future disappearance of physical collections is lamentable, and double yes, there's something creepingly dystopian about the prospects of owning nothing that we pay for. But the worst part of this to me is the sheer disconnect. How did the people entrusted with this medium become so disconnected from the people who love it? Gaming is a culture. Do they really see games as nothing more than products, as vehicles that either fail or succeed to produce revenue? Are we players just numbers on a spreadsheet? Why are the people steering the industry such outsiders to the culture? To give the devil his due, I understand that games take a lot of time and money to make, and I understand that profitability is, at least in large part, the thing that incentivizes innovation and development. Everyone's gotta eat. But the relationship between consumer and developer does not have to be this fraught. That's why Sven Vinke's legendary Game Awards speech resonated with so many people. He put the entire industry on blast with one simple observation. Don't chase revenue or market share, make a great game that you'd be proud to play yourself, a game that you love, and everything else will follow. Switch 2 launched with keycards, reports show that the new Xbox will not have a disk drive, and the Sony news is in plain sight. These are naked cost-saving decisions. And it's crazy making because the simple act of keeping their ear to the ground and listening to the gaming community would probably be one of the smartest business decisions any of these companies could make. Listen to your players. Be the oddball who keeps game ownership as part of your mission statement and respects the permanence of the games we buy. Build trust instead of eroding it, and I really don't see how that wouldn't be a winning long-term strategy. I digress. I'm not a gaming news channel, and I'm not a rabble-rouser either. But I felt as a gamer with a platform, modest though it may be, this was important enough to speak my 2 cents. When players react this strongly to losing physical games, they're telling us something important. They're telling us they don't see these games as disposable products, they see them as part of their lives. The greatest pleasure of starting this YouTube channel has been all the ways it has helped me feel more connected than ever with the gaming community. And a special delight has been all of the awesome devs, all indie, mind you, who I've had a chance to interact with. I am not in the business of prognosticating, but I know beyond any shadow of a doubt that there are people who make games because they love games, and because they sincerely want us to love their games. I've lamented all the ways the current age of abundance stifles and fatigues us, but in this, I find a silver lining. There are so many awesome games out there and so many talented people making them. No matter what blunders AAA and the titans of the industry might make, no matter how disconnected from us they'll insist to be, the art, the culture, and we will persevere.